Hello, loves. How are you today? I'm Stefanie from empoweredroots.com. I am sitting out in the middle of nature. It is Central Texas and it is mega hot. So I'm like already sweating, but it's still beautiful out here. But I wanted to share a little bit with you about something that's been coming up within my own life and also that of my clients. And that is about discernment, judgment and discernment. That judgment has actually been a huge topic that's been coming up, about judging ourselves, judging other people, judging what's right and wrong, and what that means. What we're talking about with judgment is really about a balancing of the scales, and that's not how we think about judgment. What's really important is discernment. It's redefining how we view judgment, balance, right and wrong, whatever that is. But what this is about discernment, specifically related to dreams, things we want to create, putting our work into the world, those who are spiritual entrepreneurs or creatives or outside the box thinkers. Discernment is really necessary, but this carries over to all areas of our lives, no matter what we're doing. This is discernment about our yeses and nos, and beginning to listen to the inner wisdom within ourselves. This is also being discerning about our yeses and nos, what we're inviting into our lives. And this can be people, situations, work, relationships, the content that we're taking in, usually through social media and different things like that. What this means is learning, this wind. This is learning about being discerning about our lives. That usually takes stillness. It always takes stillness, because we can't really settle into the truths of our heart and soul if we're always moving, if we're always taking in media, if we're always listening to what other people are telling us, social expectations, cultural conditioning, other people's expectations. These block us from creating what we actually want to create. And so we need to learn to be very discerning. What this also means is that sometimes we just need to keep to our own counsel. Sometimes opinions, other people's opinions, opinions on media and all kinds of variety of other places can be helpful. But a lot of times they're not. A lot of times these are simply opinions or other people's beliefs or expectations about what we should or shouldn't do, about who we should or shouldn't be. And we need to learn to be very discerning. If we want to manifest our dreams, the things that we want, whether this is with relationships or career or just the way we live our lives, how we show up in the world or what we offer into the world, we need to learn to be very discerning. One of the biggest factors that impact our success in life, our happiness in life, what we are able to create are our relationships. And it's also very important to begin to look at who we are listening to in our lives, what type of people we're surrounding ourselves with. And again, this is not about judgment. This is the difference between discernment and judgment. Judgment is saying that person, that situation, that's right, that's wrong. It's not about right and wrong. It's about discerning what is a yes or a no for us, which means that we first have to understand what it is that we desire, which is the beautiful part, because you have to first understand from a very heart and soul perspective, what is it that you want to create? Who is it that you want to become? What do you want to have more of in your life? And then once you have these decisive ideas about that, then your yeses and nos become much more clear. Because you'll know, yes, that aligns with that. No, that does not. That's our own discernment, which is honoring our desires, our path, our dreams, whatever that is, but not judging something as right or wrong. And this carries into every aspect of our lives. This also means looking at ourselves, not judging ourselves as right or wrong, good enough, not good enough, perfect, lovable, not lovable, because none of those things are actually real. Those are all illusions. We are just meant to be who we are in our fullest potential, in our fullest form, to manifest the things that we actually want in our lives, to create the things that we actually want in our lives. So be discerning. Right now especially, there's something in the air. Be discerning about what you're doing, what you're consuming, who you're listening to, who you're sharing your dreams, your ideas with. Because sometimes even well-meaning people will not be supportive of what you're trying to do. Maybe they don't understand, maybe they're scared, maybe who knows what. You're not meeting their expectations, whatever that is. But what's most important is that you listen to yourself. And sometimes that means just not sharing your visions, your ideas with others until you are strong enough in their sense of what you want them to be or what you want to manifest, where you gain that trust, and then you're like, okay, well now I can share this in a way that can withstand some of that criticism or unwelcomed opinion, whatever. So the difference between discernment and judgment. Judgment is saying, this is right, that's wrong, I'm right, I'm wrong, you're right, you're wrong. And it's fear-based, and it creates this weird dynamic that does not manifest anything and does not make anyone happy. Discernment is just understand, and one comes from like judgment of like punishment, like that's right, that's wrong. Discernment is understanding what we desire, what we want to create, what path we want to follow, who we are, what we want to offer into the world, what creative spark is rising in us. Especially now, many of us are just wanting to go on these different paths. We're having spiritual awakenings, we're having creative awakenings. This underlying, there's something else. I want to do and live differently. And within that, for those who are jumping onto that path, discernment is necessary, really understanding what that desire is, sitting still, listening to the heart, listening to the soul, listening to intuition and guidance of what that might mean, and then taking the small steps in the moment to move towards that with an understanding that your dream, what you desire, what you want to create is yours. You are the one who is responsible for dreaming it, envisioning it, taking the steps, manifesting, believing in it, creating it. And no one else is going to do that for you. No one else is going to give you permission. In fact, most people will like do the opposite of give you permission. So you really got to own that. Stop blocking yourself and understand what it is that you actually really want. And then take the steps in that direction. Even if others may not agree with you, even if you might have to temporarily do other things that you don't want to do, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you're listening. You're listening to yourself, your own wisdom, your own counsel, your own heart, your own soul, your own intuition, whatever that is, with an understanding that you are co-creating with the universe, that what you are placing your attention on is drawing that towards you. What actions you're taking, because our future, our dreams, our visions are brought into fruition by the current moment, by what we're doing, what we're focusing on. That's where the energy goes. It's about energy. And what we're focusing on is what we are drawing to us. It's what we are magnetizing to us. And it's simplistic in its idea, and also hard because we gravitate towards some like negative things. But be mindful of that, because right now, what you do in this moment is all there is. The future doesn't exist. The past is gone. What creates, what manifests, what brings to fruition is right now. It is the discernment. sword of truth, our personal truth of our yeses and nos and what that means for us. And to be discerning about what we're taking in, who we're sharing with, what we're doing, what we're thinking, all of the things. That is that justice, that sense of justice, balance, the scales of balance that are coming up so much right now. Again, this is a timeless message. Whenever you find it is when you're meant to find it. But that is what has been coming up. And I hope this offers you a little something to think about, or something that will help you, encouragement that you know the answers. The wisdom is within you. You don't have to look in every direction for it. Your path is yours to choose, and your intuition and your internal guidance will guide you in the right direction. You just have to listen and then act when you're guided to. So I hope this message was helpful. If you would like to learn about any of my coaching services or any of my intuitive writings, you can find those links below. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. Also in the links below, there's additional content, writings, and things like that on there. I hope to see you somewhere, and if not, I'll see you here again soon. I love you. Goodbye.